Hi, this is Mato. In this video I will show the game between Boris Gelfand and Vishwanathan. This is game 4 of World Chess Championship match that was played in Moscow in 2012. In this game Boris Gelfand had white pieces and he started with d4. Anand played d5, c4, c6. First 9 moves in this game are the same as in the game 2. Knight to c3, knight to f6, e3, e6, and we have Semi-Slav defense. Knight to f3, a6. This is known as Chebanenko Slav. b3, bishop to b4, pinning knight. Bishop to d2. Bishop is better placed on b2, but because of this pin, it's best to play bishop to d2. Knight from b to d7, bishop to d3. Anand castled, Boris castled, and now after accomplishing the task, bishop goes to d6, and the black is ready to push pawn to e5. And now, in game 2, Boris played rook to c1. His choice in this game was queen to c2. Now queen and bishop are aiming at pawn on h7. There is yet another continuation which we may see in this match, and that is e4. And then we will have this continuation. Pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn, and black must play e5, otherwise white will play e5, forking bishop and knight. And now c5 attacking bishop, bishop to c7, knight to a4, pawn takes pawn, and in this position white can continue with h3, or he can play bishop to g5. Okay, let's go back to our game. In this position, queen to c2 was played. e5, continuing in the same way as if rook was on c1. Pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn, fight for the center of the board, e4, e takes on d4, knight takes on d5, knight takes knight, pawn takes knight, and have a good look at this d file. Very heavy traffic on d file. Now knight to f6, protecting pawn on h7, and now it's allowing bishop to come in the game. Perhaps bishop would like to come to g4. That's why Boris played h3, bishop to d7, rook is coming to c8 sooner or later, and now rook from a to d1. That is, if rook comes to c8, queen is coming to b1, and she is going to support bishop on attack on h7. Rook to e8, knight takes pawn, rook to c8 attacking queen. Boris didn't like to play queen to b2 because of this pin, so he played queen to b1, and black played h6. Of course, black doesn't want to take that pawn with knight because bishop takes pawn on h7. So h6 was played, and now knight to f5, attacking bishop. And white knight is too close to the comfort of black king. That's why Anand decided to kill that knight. And now Boris has gained a bishop pair. Bishop is attacking rook, rook to c5, attacking pawn, rook from f to e1, rook takes on d5, and bishop to c3, aiming at black king. Okay, have a good look at these two white bishop. When they are like this, position one is on a1, h8 diagonal, and another one is on b1, h7 diagonal. They are known as Horowitz bishops. Okay, let's continue with our game. Rook takes rook, rook takes rook, and bishop to c5, improving position of the bishop, and bishop is aiming at f2 pawn. In this position, queen to c2 was played. Commentator of the game was Jan Timan, and he expected that Boris would capture that knight on f6, damaging black's pawn structure. Damaging for sure, because queen is not advised to take on f6 because of this continuation check, and after bishop to f8, after bishop to f8, bishop to h7 and checkmate. Okay, so that means that Anand would have to capture with pawn. Yes, pawn structure is damaged, but is it enough to win the game? Okay, we could have this continuation then. Queen to e4, queen is coming to g4, attacking black king, but then rook to d2, attacking pawn on f2, rook to e2 blocking, now queen to d6, and after check, king to f8, and black is okay, and black king is safe. Okay, that's why Boris didn't take that knight. Boris wants to win. He played queen to c2, improving position of the queen, and Grandmaster Jan Timan said that it is difficult to understand this game. Well, if it's difficult for him, what about the rest of us then? Okay, let's have a look how the game continued. Anand played the best move. Now there is no more advantage of bishop pair for Gelfand, and Boris played queen to c8. This is not a draw offer. White is advised not to take that queen. He played g6, but why not capture queen? If queen takes queen, then black pawns are in trouble. Okay, so g6 was played, attacking bishop, bishop to g4, h5. Why Anand didn't capture that bishop with knight? Have a good look and you will find out. How should white continue in this position? Have you seen this? This is winning queen. That's why Anand played h5, attacking bishop. Boris captured queen, rook takes queen, now bishop to f3, attacking pawn on b7, b6, and the setup that black wants to have is pawn is on b6, another one is on a5, so a different color from bishop, and rook is coming to d6, and black will defend his position. Okay, so to prevent a5, b4 could be played, but it doesn't work because of this continuation. Rook to d4, a3, rook to d3, rook to d1, rook takes pawn, rook to d6, forking pawn and knight, and after king to g7, rook takes pawn, and game is equal. And Boris doesn't want to have equal game. He wants to win. So in this position, after b6, he played rook to c1. He would like to play rook to c6. Anand is first with the rook to d6. Now king to f1, and now king is looking at these two pawns on the queen side. a5, king to e2. Let's go back. After the game, commentators and journalists, they ask question, why Boris didn't play rook to c6? They said it looks good. It does. But is it winning? That is the question. Okay, let's check. If rook to c6, rook takes rook, bishop takes rook, and it looks good because bishop is dominating knight now. But black king is fast enough to get into good position to defend. Okay, let's see how the game would continue. Then king to e2, king to e7, king to d3, king to d6, gaining time, attacking bishop, and after bishop to b5, king to e5, and black is doing well. Okay, so that's why Boris brought his king one step closer, and now Anand played knight to d5. It's possible to go wrong if someone is not careful in this position. For example, king to g7 is not the best move because now rook to c6 works. Rook takes rook, bishop takes, and now even with Nike shoes on, black king is not fast enough. Okay, let's check this variation. King to d3, king to e7, king to c4, king to d6, attacking bishop, defending and attacking pawn. King to c7, so white king is better placed than black king. Black must look after his pawn on b6. Knight is still dominated by bishop. Let's say after g3 that black could play knight to g8, then bishop to d5, knight to h6, and black's position is very uncomfortable. But Anand played knight to d5, and that's the best move. Knight would like to come to perhaps f4. That's why g3. What about taking that knight? Is that good? It doesn't work. Boris wants to win, and he found out that this doesn't win because after rook to c6 looks good at first, but black can continue in two ways. One is b5, and after rook to a6, b4. That's simple one. And another way is after rook to e6 to play, after rook to c6 to play rook to e5, check, and after king to d3, check. If king goes to e4, then rook to d2, attacking pawn on a2 and f2. That means that after check, perhaps better is to go to c3, but then b5, and after rook to a6, b4, king to c4, rook to f5, attacking pawn. If only white has enough time to play rook to d6, then to d5, exchange rooks, and to get pawns on a5 and b4, but that's not that easy. First he must defend in this position with f3, and then after rook to e5, you can see that there is no time for this. Black is not waiting. He would play rook to e2 and would get pawn on a2. Okay, so in the game g3 was played. That is the best move. Knight to e7. Knight would like to jump perhaps to f5 and then to d4. That's why Boris played bishop to e4, king to g7, and in this position, draw, agreed. Another day, another dollar. Or should I say, another day, another draw. This is a decent game. It shows that both players are extremely well prepared for this match. And that is all. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. I wish you good luck with your chess, and bye for now.